I got two topics in one that I want to talk about. And since this title was already in here, uh, this is with your brothers recording you, not Esau. The issue with your brother recording you, not Esau. Um, but there's another topic that came. I was just thinking about it as I was crossing the street. As I was crossing the street, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about when I look at the like gold digger pranks, right? And I look at how the brothers be approaching. Well, we been having that problem with our sisters for a very long years, decades of time. Uh, and I often wonder. I know that sometimes we say things like, and I say it too, the good suffers for the bad. The good has to suffer for the bad. We know that that is to be true in this society because I can 1,000,000% I can relate to that. Suffering for the bad. Because when you look around in your world today, when we look around in this society today, in 2020, so-called 2024, that's what they would say. Being a good person, being a godly person, and a good person, not stealing, not robbing, not doing nothing wrong to nobody. In this society, people not just gonna look at me automatically, even though you was born into you got by nature you are by blood by nature you are a godly person. Now you can fall off, of course. Our fathers can fall off, and they can become wicked as hell, just like become capable of doing any damn thing just like anybody else. But when you commit yourself to Christ, the Most High God, and you lay all your, as they would say, lay all your burdens at His feet by giving up what you like doing, when you submit to that to Christ and the will of God, it makes a big difference in your life. You no longer have that desire or that fleshly desire because you're killing that nature, that natural nature that wants to go against righteousness. You know what I'm saying? But we're not living in a society to where our women, they're not, people are not looking at the fact, okay, you're a good person, I'm gonna give you a chance. Okay, you work from 9 to 5. Uh, I'm not, women now. They're not gonna say, okay, I'm not working. I'm gonna accept you. You know, you work from 9 to 5. You work hard. You grind, and that's all that matters with me. And I love you just for that. No, it's. I wish I can say that we did live in a society like that, but I can't. We can't. I can't look around and say that we live in that type of society no more because whether you good or whether you bad or whatever, whether you evil, whether you good, they still not going to accept you into their circle no way. And that's sad. And I often wonder why do that have to be like that sometimes? You look around, women are not willing to, especially no, I'm talking about our sisters. They're not willing to, like, okay, this man working, this man is working from 9 to 5. This a good sweet person. You know what? I'm very attracted to that. I love that. If if you would find a woman that would say something like that, then that would be a miracle woman. It really would. That would be a miracle woman to hear some shit like that. That'll be just by a miracle that didn't happen. If I hear a woman speak like that, I would be overly amazed, and it would be so bubbling, it would be so loving, and it would be so touching. You see what I'm saying? To even hear a woman think, women, just imagine if 90% of our women was like that. Just imagine that. But I have to talk about where it come from. It came from the white race, as you see up on the title. Now you have our women, because we're dealing with slavery, and all that kind of stuff, we still is dealing with the effects of slavery right now. As I speak, we're still dealing with that. I never owned a car in my life, and I can. There's a list that I can go on, and I still have information. You can't even drive in your car in peace. Now, I know I told y'all I got two topics to talk about, so I'm trying to mix them into one and speak on it. You can't even drive on the goddamn highway in peace without this man bothering you. You can't even ride on the highway with this man bothering the shit out of you. They wait on you to do one little thing, no kind of mercy, giving you a ticket, and even if you're walking, like I'm walking, literally walking, you still gonna be targeted. Even like I'll give you another example. People can be right there at the bank, right? You can be walking as an innocent person. You wouldn't even kill even a little ant or a fly. When they see you walking automatically, they gonna hair up and zoom off in their car because they don't care about you being a good person at all. They don't care nothing about you. You don't bother nobody. You don't mess with nobody. They don't care. Even our women don't even think like that because they have been programmed by the enemy. Esau is to think like that. We don't even walk up. We don't even speak to each other. We don't do nothing. It's like we evil toward each other. We just don't care. We don't care. Like we just treat each other like we treat each other. We know everything. We are more harsh. We're just demonic toward each other. That's all we know. That it's just in our nature look like it's just to be destructive. We have been trained ever since. It's like we got drunk off of the European powers. Getting drunk off that wine. It's like our people is drunk with a bunch of confusion, with a bunch of hatred. It's just no mercy. Nobody had our people has just been trained not to have no mercy upon you. No kind of fucking mercy or nothing. You can't even go in the store and do business with your own people. You can be sitting right there trying to understand the new technology about that, how to do the self checkout cash register. You ask the so-called black woman a question or whatever. Now, again, let me flip this in. Let me say this before I go any further into that. The reason why the black women are like that is because our women has been drunk off the power of Caucasian customs. They have drunken of that wine, of that cup, and that cup is America's false doctrine. That cup is the European adopted ways that they have adopted. They have kept those ways adopted into their minds for so long and for so many years until it's causing damage and we're creating bastard children. A bastard is an unbeliever. A bastard is meaning that a child that's had out of wedlock. A bastard is a child who is that's not an Israelite. That's not a descendant seed of a godly child by nature. Um, yeah. So we can't even ask our sisters question. Now, when the so-called white men, when they come up, they get all the help. They treat them nice. They giggling more. They're more docile to them. Everything. You see what I'm saying? And this is something that's a brother on YouTube is well known, controversy brother, for speaking on topics like this here. And for over 10 years ago, and even to this day, we're still dealing with them same problems. You can't even go in the store and you can't even check out your food. And if you get confused on a fucking whether if it's on your putting the money in the machine, like today, that's what they have now. If you put like if you got a self checkout register, and they take both card and cash, and you put a large amount of bill in there, and it does not give you all of your change back or whatever. If you're having issues with trying for the machine just going through or whatever, and then you call for assistance, you get stuck or jammed up with a so-called black woman, then she is in essence, when she see you, that hatred just arouse up in her spirit, and she just in essence just talk nasty, rude, and mean to you. She don't give a damn. She don't care about nothing how you what it is. If you defend yourself, automatically right off the rip, they think you wrong for speaking out. They think that you supposed to sit there and just allow just take whatever they throw out and just go on and just act like this nice Christian or this nice person and just go on about your day. And if you tell this person off, then you got that everybody's gonna be looking at it. They'll lock you up. They'll lock you up. And they talking about Esau. Esau will lock you up and all that kind of stuff because they'll say things. You know what I'm saying? They'll lock you up. As soon as you started to stand up and defend your fucking self, defend your damn self, now all of a sudden everybody's running like a fucking coward and trying to run and call for backup like a fucking coward. And as soon as you get in trouble or get in whatever, then the first thing your parents going to be saying, I told you them people, I tried to tell them that. I tried to do this and I tried to do that and I tried to do this. And everybody's going to be blaming you for standing up trying to protect yourself. So it's just like me. I know by nature, bro, is that I feel like I'm a pretty good, fair person. I treat people the way they want. I was raised that if you treat people the way you want to be treated, and I try to do that with all my might and with all my power. I try to be respectful to people. You know what I'm saying? If you respectful to me, I'm definitely gonna ride for you and return the favor or whatever. You see what I'm saying? But I'm the type of person, if you ill or mistreat or disrespect my the love, disrespect, the kindness that I have, then I'm not gonna walk around and have a smile on my face and act like I'm good when I'm in pain because you fucking me over by just talking to me in a kind of fucking way. No. And I'm supposed to act around and walk around and put this fake fucking smile on my face and just go on about my day and get treated like a slave. That's not right. And I'm talking to the elderly people. I'm talking to the parents out here. I'm talking to whoever. I'm talking to a lot of my ancestors that and parents and things. Because we live in a single parent household that has this mindset. If your son speaks out, or if your son stand up for himself, or whatever, now all of a sudden now you looking at your son like he is the fucking problem, or you looking at him like he got some kind of what's that thing they say? Most of the people will say mental illness, right? No, it's not a mental illness. It's a Stockholm slave syndrome. That's slave property when you say stuff like that. That's what it refers to because that is in Deuteronomy as well when it talks about the curse. Deuteronomy 28 and verses 61 through 58 through 61 and 62. It talks about the diseases and stuff like that. And before you get to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 61 and 68, it talks about the inflammation will increase, the sicknesses and swelling in the body and all that kind of stuff. So when you stand up for yourself, and that's one of the things that I don't like, and this is no disrespect to our parents, our elderly people, our elderly brothers or whatever who wants to stand for what's right, because see, even during slavery, we took a lot of shit. Our people took a lot of shit, man. Now I'm talking about in this modern day slavery too. And see, they was taught that, and see, they is still holding on to, no matter what they do, you still got to shut your mouth, even if they fuck you over while you trying to get your shit together, while they sit there and talk to you any kind of way. That's a form of fucking abuse and slavery. You see what I'm saying? And I don't like when our parents, that's an issue that it's not right. And I have a problem with that. You see what I'm saying? I have a problem with you telling me, somebody telling me, well, you just go about your day, and if they say anything or whatever, don't say nothing, just keep on going because you can get locked up, you can do this and do that, blah, 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 and blah, blah. We ain't been taught to stand up for ourselves and stand up against the oppressors and stuff and tell them how we really feel. We got to know our right. We got to know, that's another thing. We got to know our constitutional rights too. And that's what I'm studying on. And then I'm gonna throw this in there too. I did a video a couple of days ago. An elderly woman thought it was funny. Thought to me, and now she might not meant no harm, and maybe now if I got it wrong, my bad on that. It's just you know what I'm saying. It's just that sometimes I guess you go through so much, man, until you know you can't help but think like that. You see what I'm saying? What kind of person is that? Is to make fun of somebody because they don't know how to break down one. They can say all the other words are no problem, but when you get to that one word, that Greek word, that's what's that kind of word? Solid word that I can't say. Then the person just it tickles the. What would be funny? What would be so funny and hilarious? That's hilarious. I mean, think about it. If it was you, would it be hilarious if somebody just took and robbed you, and then you came to me and told me, somebody robbed me, and I just go to just it just tickled the shit out of me, and it's just hilarious. How do you think you're gonna feel sitting there listening to that? How do you think that's gonna make you feel? Or make you think about how you would feel if a person did that in your face. You would feel like this person ain't your friend. You'll feel that this person, well, oh no, that's the way he took it, and that's the way he did it, and he took it this way, and he took it that way, he took it this way. No, 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 no. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up, in my opinion. If if I got it wrong, or if I'm misunderstanding them, then my bad. I don't mind making an apology or something like that. You know what I mean? Uh, if somebody is you now look now here's the reason why I took it kind of personal. I know it may be wrong. Maybe I shouldn't take it personal. But some things you, in my honest opinion, sometimes it's best to take some things personal. Some people say don't take these things personal or nothing like that. Now I know it sounds like I'm all over the place, y'all, but just walk with me a minute. Um, when somebody is like making fun, it's but it may be the way that they're coming off. And in my mind, why would I take it personal? If I'm taking it personal and I feel that it's a personal thing, then I have my duty and my I have a right is to question why is I'm feeling this way and why did this person felt the need. It's the thought that that was very tickled. It tickled them to it. They it was hilarious to them. Oh well, it doesn't mean don't. What kind of 70 or 80 year old woman gonna sit there? It would if that shit would be painful. It would hurt. That's some hurtful shit. Especially you looking at them like, damn, ain't they supposed to be the leaders of the communities and stuff? But I understand again, uh, perception, deception is a reality, and I understand that sometimes you can take people wrong or whatever. You know what I mean? Sometimes people can do things and not even mean a bit of harm. They can mean all the good in the world. Some people, I don't know. Would you find that funny if somebody that like another thing? Will it be funny if somebody walked up, you told them you was molested, right? Let's say if you was molested by one of somebody in the community or something like that, and that person just go to laughing or something because they didn't pronounce the word molestation right, and you just start. Just think about this. Just think for a minute before you go in on me. If a if a girl comes up, say she been molested as a child, right? Think about that. And she say, I was, let's just, I'm gonna make up a word. I was most molested, most molested. And the older person be like, what are you, I know it's molestation, but the girl try to pronounce and say, I've been molested. I've been molested or something like that. Now, think about it. Now, if she's trying to say, I've been molested, and they say it's molested, just think about if the parents would say, no, What are you trying to say? And she write it down. All right. Somebody said, oh, I know what she's trying to say. No, it's not that. Even though she said it wrong, and you, let's just say if you just if it was, you started giggling and you laughed at the child for trying to speak it the correct way, how in the fuck do you think that child is going to feel? They passionate about learning. Let's say they passionate about learning. How do you think? Just put yourself in that situation if you was molested, and that person just sat up there and made fun of your pain, made fun of it. How would you? And they started laughing because you mispronounced the word molestation, right? How do you think that? Just think about it. Just imagine if that child, if you was that child, and that person just laughed and it tickled them to the core. It was so hilarious to them, and they trying to tell you that um they've been violated or disrespected in that way, right? How do you think that child gonna feel or think, or how you think they might? Just imagine how they would look up to you. Do you think they're gonna look up to you as a good role model and feel good about you done something, like, because they're gonna feel like you done made fun of their pain? I would, in my honest opinion. It'll make me feel like you sitting there making fun of my damn pain. And just imagine hearing some shit like that. You grew up and you had a problem with, you didn't have the best of education. You didn't grow up with the best of teaching, right? You didn't have access to the teaching as you should have. You was the resources, education of the money resources, and you didn't have the money to get the educational resources that you needed. But this person had all of the education in the world, but it was funny to them, even though they told you and corrected you and told you what the word was. Then they turn around and laugh because you said it a certain. Well, what was the purpose of the laugh? No, I wasn't laughing at you. I was just laughing at the way that you said it. It wasn't you mispronouncing it. Or not, I just laughed at the way you said it. Okay, what about it that was funny? The way, how did I say it that made it funny then? How did I say it? Because you just told me that no, babe, it's not admitment and whatever it is, it's this or whatever. But they put a grin in there, like it's like the shit is like, what would be funny? I mean, about that. I mean, how would it not be? Can somebody help me in the comment section with this here? Anybody explain to you, at least explain and break down to the person what you mean. You know, because that's important. Just think about it. If that was you in that situation, or if you didn't know nothing, that's like me. I know a lot about computers. What the fuck would I look like sitting up making call myself laughing, and it's so tickled that they know that I know some stuff about it, and I'm educated in software. And I'm just saying, make an example. I'm educated in Microsoftware, and I can make softwares, and they can't, and it tickling the shit out of me, and it's funny to me because they don't know how to break the word software down that I made. They don't know how to break the word apple down or computer down or whatever. Or whatever. How do you think they're gonna feel if I'm sitting there being fucking arrogant and making them feel like they don't know shit? But they will claim that that's not what they have done. It might have not been their intention, but they were still hurting it. See, that's what people don't understand too. It may not be your intentions. You might not mean any harm, but once it comes, and you may not even know that you're harming the person. You know what I mean? But you're doing that. You know what I mean? But if you can't help the person, if you're not going to reach out in compassion and teach the person, then why would you even try to act like that shit was funny? Now, I want y'all to tell me if y'all think, say it now. Now, Brother Ray, you're doing too much. Let me know in the comment section if y'all think I'm doing too much. Because those things were on my mind. Now, I did say I was going. This video was going to be a little mixed up. And I was supposed to have been talking about. Hold on. Yeah, I was supposed to have been talking. Okay, I hope that y'all didn't hear the music. But um, yeah. Um, why do the good suffer for the bad? And I said that when I see women, when men walk up, brothers walk up, right, and they say, "Excuse me, sis. Excuse me, sis." They be very polite, and those women will still walk off and still walk away from them, not caring about nothing until they see the car that the guy's in. All of that shit stem from slavery. It results and stem from slavery. Not only do they keep walking, but a lot of them have the nastiest attitude there is. You know why they have those attitudes like that? Because Esau has taught them is to do that. But let the so-called white man walk up and do that. Let Esau, the white man, Caucasian man, walk up and do that. I guarantee they wouldn't keep walking and pass him up. Mm-mm. I went into the dentist office a couple of weeks ago, and I saw how those the women in there, the sisters, I call them sisters or whatever, in the dentist office, and they treated the so-called white people better than they did the black people, our people. And I said, this is not right. They was laughing and grinning all up in the man, in the so-called white man's face. He came. It was a so-called white mailman that came up in there, bringing the mail there at the dentist office. They treated the so-called white man way better than they do the people that come up in there and try to sign up to see the dentist. They talk to him rough, but when the so-called white men go up in there, guess what they do? They treat him like he's a god. You will never see me treating the so-called white man better than my own people, like he's a god. You will never see me doing that. No, but that's what they did. I said, look at this stupid ass shit here. How can you turn around and treat another race of people better than you do your own people? I say, look at this shit here. And they think it makes perfect sense. I said, how stupid and how dumb that is. And that's the way they do in these stores, Walmart stores. You go anywhere, you see, and they got our women's as the Esau, the so-called white man, they got all this shit out of order. A black, so-called black man, Hispanic man, Native American man is supposed to raise their kids. The women is supposed to be the keepers at home, keepers and stuff like that, nurturing and stuff like that, making sure they got good nurturing and stuff like that. The man's supposed to teach them how to be man. The purpose of the man there is to level things out. You know what I mean? But we don't have that now. But you go in these stores now, your own people is mistreating you because they've been trained like puppets by the so-called white man is to treat you evil, be evil towards you. Deuteronomy 28:54 says, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. Deuteronomy 28:55 said, her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. That's going into the black man hating the black woman and the black man hating the black woman. That's what it's going into. They treat Esau, the white man, better. That is really insane and it's sick. That is a Stockholm slave syndrome. That's what that is. Exactly what I say. This is a damn shame, and they don't care. They don't have no kind of remorse of what they're doing. They don't have no kind of regrets. They don't have no kind of, they don't feel nothing after they do that. Nothing. Because they want to be superior to the white man because they have self-hatred. When they see another black man, they hate the black man because it looks like everything about themselves that they don't like. And so, and there was another couple of brothers on YouTube said this, and I'm repeating that, and that's true. When they look at you, they see what they hate in themselves. And when they look at you, they see that the hatred automatically arises because it reminds them of everything that they hate about themselves. Because the so-called white man has taught the black woman is to hate the black man. You see what I'm saying? They have been taught is to hate them. They have been taught, the so-called black woman been taught is to be the right hand man of white supremacy, because she will call the police on you in a minute. A lot of them would do that, and that is pure out or unadulterated, wicked as hell, and it's evil as fucking hell. They dangerous. They will call the white man on you in a minute, and that's evil. And I ask myself, how did our women develop that type of spirit? You see what I'm saying? It's demonic and evil, not realizing that the system is using them again. And then that's another reason why the so-called black man hate the black woman and have a disdain and a hatred and can't stand the black woman. And that's the reason why the black woman have a disdain and a passionate hatred for the so-called black man. So that's why when we walk uptown and when we walk to different stores and stuff like that, when you look, you can't even look at the sisters or brothers. You can't even look at the brothers. They look at you evil and mean. You like, what the fuck have I done? They just looking at you all evil and stuff because they don't. But when they see the so-called white man, they straighten up. How can you allow a race that you're supposed to be more dominant than? And he said that you are greater. You are the greatest people on the planet. Allow the weakest race is to make you evil towards your own brother. That's not right. We can't even hold a conversation. I was trying to tell a little young man what is. I asked him this, and he didn't know where I was going with the conversation, but he did. I understand. He didn't understand. I said, "Man, what's your nationality?" Because I was gonna say, "Hey, you're a Judite." I'm pretty sure he was a Judite, but I just want to see what he was gonna say. The first thing out of his mouth, first words, emotional words. What you asking me that for? I said, look at how brainwashed our damn people is. And I said, no. I said, that's a sign that they're trained. And when they go to them schools, the schools is already getting them ready to be trained for 12 years is to be a slave, a mental slave in this society. That's all that they're being trained that Jesus, that Christ is a Caucasian man. When the Bible says he's a so-called black man, they go to school and teach them that shit for 12 years, teaching them lies for 12 years, and that's why a lot of my people respond. And then we don't even have fathers in the home, so that's another strike against us too, because they use all of those different methods is to destroy the African American black man, Hispanic and Native American man and woman and child. That's Israelites according to God. Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead on and get up out of here. Hopefully I covered enough. And I know I spoke on like kind of two. I kind of went in and spoke two different topics at one time because it was a lot on my mind and I was walking and things of that nature. But our women uh, walks off when the brothers tries to approach them, and all that shit come from slavery. When they be talking about they want them a man that they don't want no man that work from 9 to 5. He got 9 to 5 and he got to be making 6 figures and all that kind of stuff. All that bullshit came from slavery. That's where it come from. It has been embedded and taught to them by the evil, the slave master, the so-called white man. And that's why they think those are the ways of the. That's why the Bible tells you, and it says What is scripture? Learn not the way of the heathens. That's in Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 1 and 2, I think. It says, learn not the way of the heathen. It says the customs of the people are vain. It says don't learn. And we done went off and we done adopted the heathen ways and customs of thinking instead of embracing our own. Have you noticed that every other culture in this world embraces their nationality, their culture, their food, and everything that is about their nature, about their culture? The Chinese people, the Saudi Arabian people. But we are the only one. We trying to adopt and worship everybody else's culture but our own. Like, for example, let me give you an example. Thanksgiving, Christmas, so-called Thanksgiving, thanks Christmas and all this shit, New Year's and all that shit. All of those are European holidays, right? Our people go to the store and spend their last dime blowing it in on buying turkeys and not realizing the turkeys and all that shit represents the slaughter of the many bodies of the Native Americans that was killed in this country over here. You see what I'm saying? And the cranberry sauce represents the bloodshed, the blood that was shed of our people. But our people will break their necks, and if you tell them that it's falsehood, they will be ready to kill you for Esau. They will be ready to literally kill you for this man and not knowing what it represents. That's what it represents. No, we don't do it just for that. We do it because we just trying to celebrate family and all of that kind of stuff. But you still observing it on that day. So you can't justify that you're not still doing it because you're still doing it on that day. It's just like going to church on the wrong day. You going to church, even though you're saying, well, you're not worshiping the day, you just going because you just want to worship God, but you still worshiping on that same day that the heathens do. It's not changing the fact that you are there in the presence on that day of what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So you just as much of a partaker as they are. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You just as much guilty as they are. When you sit up and you sit up and you worship or you celebrate. If you want to celebrate something, celebrate the high holy days in the Bible. Celebrate the 7-day Sabbath. You see what I'm saying? Celebrate the 7-day Sabbath. Celebrate the day of unleavened bread. Celebrate the feast Nicomanah. Celebrate all of that. Let's learn how to celebrate that. Celebrate the holy days of God that was sanctified in the beginning. Celebrate. We embrace all these other cultures, but we forget about the Sabbath. Most of our people don't even keep the Sabbath. But they'll turn around and celebrate a so-called Thanksgiving, a day that they murdered and slaughtered the Native American Indians. They'll turn around and worship that shit. You see what I'm saying? But they will not honor the holy days of God. You see what I'm saying? People celebrate more of the year. See, that's what I'm saying. Our people celebrate and embrace and take pride in every other nation's nationalities or people's culture, but their own. Why we don't embrace our own culture like that? Let's embrace our Hebrew customs like that. Let us embrace the Hebrew custom. Let us embrace that. Let us embrace that and take pride in that and unsubscribe from these heathen holidays that from these other nations, because that's the reason why our people ancestors went into slavery in the first place, is because we went after gods that that can't do anything. We left the God of Israel and went serving the other gods and serving the gods of the and serving the other nations of the people of the land. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get right on that, people. So I'll come back and I'll speak some more about it whenever I think this is a pretty interesting video. Hopefully everything is well and good in this video because it was on my mind and I think I wanted to say it. So I'll see y'all later here. All right. So the video, what? I don't know. The good suffers for the bad. And in essence, we turn around and worship the Caucasian man. That's what I name it. I'm out.